Hi, puzzle friends. You are not going to believe what I just discovered. This White Mountain puzzle, Puzzler's Paradise, actually has puzzles hidden in the puzzle. Yep, it's literally puzzles within a puzzle. And here's the crazy part. I discovered that two of the puzzles that were shown in this artwork hadn't even been released when this puzzle first came out. So it's kind of like a puzzle time capsule with secret previews of puzzles. Stick around because I'm going to tell you all about it, show you which puzzles are featured, and which sneak previews eagle-eyed fans were able to get. Hi, I'm Vicki. Welcome to Puzzles and Purrs. I was super excited to get this puzzle. It was, if you recall, one of the puzzles that I got with my gift card haul. It's called Puzzler's Paradise, and it is by Angelo Bonito. She did the artwork, which is just beautiful, if not a little busy. More on that later. Today we're going to be talking about this puzzle. And in addition to talking about it and telling you all the little details that you might not know at first glance, I'm also going to be showing a puzzle time lapse of this puzzle. So you'll want to stay tuned for that. Okay, so first of all, obviously this is an image that if you are a puzzler, you will probably love. There are a lot of things going on in this puzzle. It is someone who is puzzling with a view of the beach, which is lovely. And there are lots of puzzles just set about. Puzzles, there's one on the table being worked. There's an adorable dog right here. Cute kitty right there. And then a bunch of little, I don't know if they're called antiques, knickknacks, whatever, up at the top there. In addition to this ceiling fan. Oh, there's some wind chimes too. So for a puzzle image, I have to say this puzzle image is beautiful. It was what initially attracted me to the puzzle and made me want to buy it. So I give this a 5 out of 5 for image. Congrats, Angelo Bonito. Beautiful job. Okay, then we're going to talk about the pieces of the puzzle. So as a White Mountain puzzle, this has 1,000 pieces, and not that all White Mountain puzzles have 1,000 pieces. They do have some 500 pieces. But when you open up the box, you get the beautiful poster image here. And this puzzle is already ready for swapping. So I did put it in a zipped bag here. But as usual, you get the standard White Mountain cut and piece thickness and size. So you can see it's got those nice big pieces, which I love. It's one of the reasons I love the brand so much. They're a good size, they're a good thickness. This puzzle was great quality. They're really difficult to bend or anything like that. Obviously, I was the first one to do this puzzle, so you are expecting when you're the first one to do a puzzle that the quality is going to be good, and this did not disappoint in that aspect. It had a good fit. It was able to pass the pickup test. It was not too tight. It was not too loose. So I enjoyed that aspect a lot. So I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 for pieces. Okay. There was a little amount of puzzle dust, but nothing that was too crazy. So I didn't see that to be a factor. The ease of puzzling this image. Here I've got to give it a 3 out of 5, and I don't know, it's up to you to decide whether I'm being generous. One thing that I didn't stop to think about when I saw this puzzle originally was there's a lot going on. It is a very, very busy image. And I didn't realize just how difficult this would be to puzzle. And if you are a sorter, it's kind of difficult to sort as well. I had a couple of false starts where I would take an area and start working it and then realize that it was too hard and I wasn't finding enough things. So I actually started with this wallpaper here because I noticed that it's spread around here, and it actually goes right up there. It's in a lot of places, and it was fairly easy to separate from the other foliage and greenery around. So I started with that. Another thing that I found somewhat easy was this puzzle in here, and obviously the puzzles, because they're a little different. They have names on them. So those are the things I started with. I would say the more challenging parts of this puzzle were just out here, this greenery, the greenery here. What else was? Oh, these things here and the ceiling. So when I originally bought this, I thought this puzzle is so beautiful and it represents my puzzling life. I am going to do it and glue it and frame it. But after doing the puzzle, I just realized it's too busy. It's not the kind of calm, peaceful, puzzling image that I think I want framed, even though it is gorgeous. So I'm just going to swap it. And I actually already have a swap planned for this one. So, okay, let's get to the exciting part. Now, there are puzzles featured within this puzzle. Let's see if we can count how many. There's one there. That's just an open box. So it's 1, 2, 1 on the floor, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is a puzzle too. So did I say 7 or 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 puzzles featured in this one puzzle. Now you might be wondering, are all of these White Mountain puzzles? Yes, they are. Okay, so when I got the puzzle, I decided to look through my collection and see if I could find some of the ones featured here. Now, with the exception of the new releases, I have done all of the ones featured here, or at least have them in my collection. Some of them I no longer have because I'm a one and done puzzler. So when I'm done, the puzzle goes out. But let's have a look. Seize the Day is the puzzle here. And I actually did that a little while ago and swapped it. What is really interesting, though, is Seize the Day is also right there under the table. So I don't know, did they have 2 copies? You know, a true puzzler will get multiple copies of the same puzzle because they don't realize they already own it. So maybe that's what happened to this person. I don't know, but Seize the Day is there. Underneath Seize the Day is right there, that blue box, pretty as a picture. So let me just show you that one because that one is in my collection in my to-do pile. There is pretty as a picture. Isn't that pretty? So that one, again, was right there. Pretty as a picture. Okay, next, Windmill Farm. This was a 500-piece puzzle that I did not too long ago. It's right there. And then Beach Shells, right over there. Beach Shells, and I do have this one in my collection. I have not done it yet. Let's take a look. Beach Shells is a 500-piece White Mountain puzzle. And I thought pretty appropriate to have in Puzzler's Paradise. What's interesting is none of these puzzles that were featured here, I'm not sure about the new releases, but the ones that I've shown you are not from Angelo. Sorry, if I said Angela, it's Angelo Bonito. Angelo Bonito. Okay, bad eyes again. Angelo Bonito. Sorry, Angelo. Okay, none of the ones that are featured here, and I don't know about the new ones, are by Angelo Bonito. So yeah. Okay, then the last one that I currently have in my possession is right here. It's called Things We Say. It's sitting on the chair. Okay. Things We Say, right there. Could be some glare in this because it's still shrink wrapped. I haven't done it yet, but it's one of those White Mountain puzzles I love that have a lot of little funny boxes and collages of different sayings. So that's that one. Okay, but what about these new puzzles? Well, when Puzzler's Paradise was released, there were two puzzles on here, this one and this one, that were not available to purchase yet. They have since been added to the White Mountain website. This one here with the car, the one that's framed, is called Beach Escape. And the super interesting one to me is this one here, right there, which is called Summer Read. Okay, here's what's super interesting about that. It is also the puzzle they are working on at the table, but all the White Mountain puzzles that are featured here have a title. They all have a title on the front of the box, okay? The only one that doesn't is Summer Read. There is no title listed there. It just says 1,000-piece puzzle. And that is not how White Mountain puzzles are. It just doesn't say 1,000-piece puzzle right up there. There's always the title there. So I did a little digging and discovered that this was going to be the image called Summer Read. And I don't think they had even, knew the name yet when this image was commissioned. So that was pretty interesting. And there's one other interesting thing that I am going to just double check, and then I'll continue this video. So hold on a minute. Okay, guys, I am so sorry. I had to run and get one more puzzle because there was one other interesting thing about this whole meta puzzle within a puzzle thing. Okay, so remember I said this puzzle here, Summer Read, doesn't have a title. What's interesting is the side of the box right there, I'm going to try to get as close as I can, does have a title. And so I was interested in knowing what the title to this puzzle was because it wasn't on the front. Well, we did some zooming, we did some pictures, and we discovered the title to that puzzle was called What Flowers Mean. Now, that's really curious because it's not really what the image is. Again, it's the one they're working on the table. It's the one from that box. But here's the more interesting part. I own What Flowers Mean from White Mountain. This is What Flowers Mean from White Mountain. It is clearly not the same puzzle. So I think what they did here was they used the box maybe to help guide the image. I am not an artist. I don't know. And, replaced it with this image, took the title off the top, but then maybe didn't take the What Flowers Mean title off the side of the box right there. Anyway, it was really curious and it felt like I kind of found something forbidden or like some little Easter egg, if you will, within this puzzle. So it was a super fun puzzle for reasons I was not expecting. It was somewhat frustrating building it, but with all the interesting little in the know details going on inside of it, it made for a super interesting puzzle. So that is the story of the meta puzzle, Puzzler's Paradise from White Mountain, from Angelo Bonito. And if you're interested in a puzzle that's pretty busy, a little bit challenging, but will make your puzzle-loving heart happy, give this one a try. And stick around and watch our time lapse. If you enjoyed this content, give me a like or a subscribe or I don't know, whatever, leave a nice comment. We love hearing from you here at Puzzles and Purrs. See you next time.